Yo, it's your boy Casual Rail with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one. And a quick one at that. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below. And as always, subscribe if you got that time. And for this, let's get straight into it. It's the $1 billion empire. The $1 billion empire built in Saudi Arabia for Mr. Saul Canelo Alvarez. How does a man in boxing, not named Floyd Money Mayweather, obviously he didn't do it either, but how does a man in boxing get to $1 billion net worth in the sport of boxing, especially in the next 3 years or so? Now, we already know, Canelo Alvarez is, multi-millionaire, over, 9-figure type. Face of boxing, pay-per-view star, you name it. But how does a man like that be the first time ever in the sport break $1 billion? Rarely done in many sports. It's been done obviously in the likes of soccer, basketball, actually, NBA, golf, and baseball. Now, Mr. Canelo Alvarez is challenging to make it the sport of boxing, which, still a niche type sport, was the number one sport for decades and decades, but we fell into the niche, but we're building back up, becoming one of the most popular sports around the world again. How can this man make this happen? What's his path to do this? Obviously got rumored 100 million plus for the likes of William Skull. Check cleared in the bank. Good. First step. September 12th, 2025, got the likes of Terrence Bud Crawford. I think this will be a huge event. I think it's going to make up majority of that money. I think he'll probably get around 150, 200 million for this first fight. And yes, I said first fight. I have a feeling that this fight's not going to go the way that people think it is. A lot of people think Canelo's going to whitewash and just knock out the likes of Terrence Bud Crawford. I actually think it's going to either fall into a Terrence Bud Crawford close victory. I think William Skull showed some things that Terrence Bud Crawford can clearly do. And I think Terrence Bud Crawford does a little bit more punching. Or potentially a draw. Again, handling to the sport of boxing. Imagine this. A rematch back-to-back, September to May. Terrence Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, especially for a controversial fight. That alone, back-to-back, pay-per-view in the States, will probably clear him close to $500 million. Especially the second fight, if it's close and really controversial, and hell, if Bud wins or Canelo wins by close margin, or if it's a draw, mind you not, that is a big payday for both fighters, mind you. But back to back, September 2025, then move right on to Cinco de Mayo weekend 2026. Build that rematch up, build it up even bigger. Multi pay-per-view buys, millions will be sold. That alone will probably make up 60% of his $1 billion plan for the empire. But let's stick with the narrative and says he clears the way for beating Terrence Bud Crawford September 12, 2025. Moves on, takes on the likes of Chris Eubank Jr. May 2026. That is the rumor that has always been built up. They're already trying to hype that up over in the UK. Goes back on his world tour. UK fans are great. They'll build that up. There'll be a pay-per-view event, especially in the States. Sell out, whether it's Wembley, you name it, wherever they pick the venue at, it's going to be sold out, and it's sold out quick. And that'll be a good fight for him, meaning the likes of Canelo Alvarez, somebody who's coming up in weight again. I think definitely not as a big threat, and get the work done. Another 9-figure payday. And this is where we close out the $1 billion deal. Again, whether it's a double rematch, I think if it's a double rematch with the likes of Terrence Bud Crawford, we get there quicker than a 3-year time frame, because you're going to add on these next fights. So let's say you do the two rematches with Terrence Bud Crawford and go to Eubank, meaning in be September 2026. Or you go for the 1-1. Crawford, he beats Crawford, beats Eubank, and then September 2026 gets the likes of Bivol Better be a winner who probably at that time took on the Benavidez winner. I mean, I'm talking about, the Benavidez Callum Smith winner. Even though that fight's not official yet, I believe Benavidez and Callum Smith are going to get it on. That will also be a rematch back to back because neither fighter's getting stopped. Meaning if Canelo finally gets to take on the likes of Bivol for the rematch, September 2026, after beating Chris Eubank Jr., that'll be a back-to-back rematch. No matter which way it goes. Or will we finally get to see the Bandera Roja and Saul Canelo Alvarez? That's my personal favorite I would like to see. Finally get it on at that light heavyweight division. Especially if Benavidez somehow beats the likes of Bivol or Better Beef. Whoever wins, again, we got to get that trilogy later this year, 2025. Then I think Benavidez will get the winner. If he beats Callum Smith, who gets the winner early 2026. All roads lead to September 2026 for that clash with Canelo. Another multi 9-figure payday for the likes of Saul Canelo Alvarez. And again, that's a back-to-back rematch guaranteed. Unless it just goes viciously wrong and nasty. That would probably be a close fight for either way, back-to-back. Now, if it's Better Beef that beats Bivol, then obviously it'll be Better Beef taking on like Benavidez. That's a damn good fight. I think Benavidez with either one of them, Bivol or Better Beef, is a damn good fight. But let's say Better Beef beats both. I don't think Better Beef stays around long enough to fight Canelo. He's already 40 plus, but we'll see. The $1 billion empire. Let's wrap this up. Obviously started with William Skull. His next step is Terrence Bud Crawford. That's going to be a big payday regardless. Stateside, Vegas Stadium, you name it. It's going to be a big day, big payday. I think there should be I think there will be a rematch. Again, personal opinion, call me whatever. I think it's going to be either a draw or a close Terrence Bud Crawford victory over the likes of Canelo Alvarez September. Run it back with a rematch in May. Chris Eubank Jr. September 2026. After that, you'll get the likes of the winner between Benavidez, Better Beef, Bivol, and you'll get that rematch back to back. And those fights right there. So that's what? 2-2. There are 5 remaining fights. That gets him to $1 billion. And probably pretty comfortably, especially if it goes the way that I'm saying. Back to back with Terrence Bud Crawford, probably 200 plus million paydays. Back to backs with Benavidez, winner and Bivol, you name it, probably back to back. It will obviously sell more if it's Benavidez, the Bandera Roja. I think that's really the fight that pushes the needle, the fight that everybody's been clamoring for years and years, calling Canelo Alvarez a duck. And what better way to wrap up his contract with Turki Al-Sheikh than, all right, let me finally fight the Mexican monster, the Bandera Roja. And I think they should probably do it regardless, or it's for the light heavyweight belt. I know Canelo likes to fight for championships, but the Bandera Roja to finish that off, if you can guarantee that, fights with Terrence Bud Crawford, Eubank Jr., and Benavidez. Rematches with Benavidez. Easy billion. Now, what's the likelihood of this all happening? Especially with Benavidez, the way that Canelo Alvarez has been moving, slim. Bivol's clearly not showing much interest in fighting Canelo in a rematch, but maybe he will now that he's finally got his undisputed crown and finally accomplished that goal. Canelo's got to get past Terrence Bud Crawford. That is no easy task for either man, mind you not. And especially after what I saw with William Skull, I'm telling you guys, we're going to do another keys to victory breakdown for both sides. Terrence Bud Crawford stands a good chance here to make this very close. Again, a draw, potentially taking the victory. Again, we'll break that down even further. We'll give you exactly step by step how to do it. It was shown. And it's been shown for years, but we'll give you step by step. So there's a lot to do, a lot of things to happen, a lot of what ifs. But I think the $1 billion question is, can he do it? Yes. Will he do it? Pretty sure he will, especially with these fights that he's got lined up. Turkey Al Sheik's trying to make it happen. But I think it's got to be the big names that do it. Obviously, he's got one, Terrence Bud Crawford. That's a big event catch fight right there. Everybody wants to see, can it be done? But more importantly, I think to really close out that $1 billion, it's got to be the Mexican monster. It's got to be David Benavidez to kind of bring that on home and let that be a back-to-back fight. Assuming, again, David Benavidez handles business against whoever he takes on in the light heavyweight division now that he's the WBC champion. Rumor has it's going to be Callum Smith. And more importantly, if he can get, meaning Benavidez, get the winner between Bivol Beterbiev 3 and also handle business there and win that, it's big, and it's big for the sport of boxing. Anyways, man, we talked too long on this, man. Hit that like button, comment below, let us know what you think. And as always, subscribe if you got that time. Just let us know what you think. Can he get to that $1 billion goal? Is it feasible? Is it attainable? Will he beat Terrence Bud Crawford? Will Crawford make this thing interesting? Will he throw a monkey wrench in this thing? Will we get 2 back-to-back rematches between Crawford? Meaning the sport of boxing pushing that, and as well as the Benavidez fight. Anyways, hit that like button again, comment below, and as always, subscribe. It's your boy Casual Rope, Sunday Podcast. Until the next time, peace.